Remember the Memorandum of Understanding signed between Iran and the United States? Well, after 60 days, today marks that agreement's expiration. So, where are we with the war in Iran? Deadlocked, according to many reports. President Trump telling Fox News today he's in no hurry to end the war and Iran should put up the white flag and just surrender. In that same interview with Fox News, Mr. Trump unleashed another profanity-laced threat, this time to Oman, saying Oman will be bombed if they get in the way of U.S. efforts to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Earlier today, Iran said it reached an agreement with Oman on shipping routes in that critical waterway, but details on the pact that they reportedly made are not yet known. So let's go live to Mark Cancian. He's a senior advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies and retired Marine Corps colonel. So you're taking all of this in, as are the rest of us. The MOU is now expired. President Trump says he's in no hurry to end the war, but can Tehran outlast Washington?
Well, that's a great question because both sides believe that they can outlast the other. We heard what President Trump has said. Iran is saying exactly the same thing. We're into this long-term war of economic attrition, each side believing that it can outlast the other, that it can put the other under such economic pressure that they will agree to more favorable terms.
And were you taken back by what the president had to say about Oman? After all, Oman has come up and has been a longtime ally. They've been central in some of these negotiations and talks. Any of that take you back, and how do you think that that sets the stage going into a new week?
It's a pretty extraordinary threat since Oman has been a close ally and very helpful in this war. I think what it reflects is a concern in Washington that Oman and Iran will make a deal over the strait between the two of them and not bring in the United States. That agreement may include dividing the strait so that the Iranians could institute fees, for example. Maybe the Omanis would institute fees, but it's an arrangement that would be quite detrimental for the United States and the entire world because ceding sovereignty over a strait like this, which has been free passage for decades, would be a major problem. There are many other straits around the world that might also be subjected to sovereignty, and that would hugely disrupt global trade.
Okay, so I want to get your take on another headline that continues to come up, and that, of course, the conditions or the alleged conditions aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. You've had troops under your command. You know what a record-setting deployment looks like, some 260 days out there in the water. What's your take on all of the headlines and what some people complain is just unbearable conditions aboard that ship?
Well, there's no question that the Lincoln is going through a difficult time. I've been at sea for extended periods. I understand what that's like. You're living in a steel city that you can't leave with this very little privacy, and you're focused on your job day to day, not much to do otherwise. But there were a couple of things going on. One, of course, is the length of the deployment. But the Ford was out longer. It was out 11 months. One problem for Lincoln is that they haven't had any port visits in, I think, 8 months. And port visits are a way to relieve stress, to get off the ship, to stretch your legs, to do something different. They're also probably a little bored because for quite a while they were conducting operations. Those take a lot of attention and give people a sense of purpose. But right now they're literally just sailing in circles in the Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, and that's boring. And finally, the U.S. supply chain has been disrupted. Previously, that supply chain had gone through Bahrain, where the United States has a naval support activity, so you could bring in food and spare parts and do a lot of things that are now more difficult. So putting all that together, you can see why the crew on the Lincoln is under a lot of stress.
Mark Cancian, thank you so much for your thoughts and expertise. An honor to talk to you.